right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Paradise League HoN's grand finale. We got game number 3. This is a 1-1 series, so at least 2 more games. Let's be honest. I'll cross the fingers, hoping for 3 more in the end to go the distance. But hey, at least we get 2 more. That's what matters. And have these games been entertaining? Oh my gosh, they have. A lot of kills, a lot of action, a lot of good play, frankly, as we've been commentating. Speaking of that, I'm Break CBK, joined by What You Got. Here we are in game 3 now. The band's finished already to the Sir Bensington first pick for the side of Doghouse over there. But all right, game 3, Bensington back on the board and once again going to be picked up.
We're basically back to square one, Breaky. We're tied up, like you said. It's almost like nothing happened. But yeah, I mean, both games so far we've seen, we're pretty much averaging 2 or more kills per minute. So there is definitely no, it is not short of action by all means. So I'm having a great time watching these games. I hope the viewers are loving it. And I think we might go the whole distance here if this keeps up the way things are going right now. So I love to see that. And we'll see what game 3 has in store for us now, as now Doghouse has a little bit of momentum their way with game 2 going very well for them.
So you mentioned kind of like back to square one from game 1. Obviously, a similar circumstance here. The Sir Bensington first pick. And the bands suggest that nothing from the previous games even. The Tremble, Forsaken Archer, Repulsor, Corrupted Disciple, Draconis, Valkyrie. But we do get a little bit of a variation there. How about this? Adrenaline coming out with the Magnus. Lodestone Defiler. They were confident in those picks. But talk to me about this Adrenaline real quickly. What are we going to see out of this?
So Team Tim, I believe, will run this mid lane. This is an Adrenaline that they put on Haha, and he plays it very well. It's a very good team fight hero with the Death's Halo ultimate that can just hold everybody down. So I'm imagining that they're going to continue with how Team Tim likes to draft, where they like to draft a lot of team fight heroes with big ultimates, and that would just continue the trend here with the Adrenaline pickup. So it kind of suits the nature of how they like to run their lineups. It's a very disruptive hero. If it's given a 1v1, it can farm very well, scale very well. It likes to build into items like Dawnbringer with mana boots and stuff like that. So it is more of like, I would say, a wildcard pick for them. They don't play this like a lot, but they do run it occasionally, and I think they do very well when they usually run this hero. So we'll see how it goes for them. But they have the Magnus as well, which, you know, I think we know by now the power of Magnus is just great pretty much in any lineup. And we'll probably see it again, second support for Volca. I would be surprised otherwise, but wouldn't be out of the question, of course. But look at the confidence from Doghouse. They still have all of their 80 seconds of overtime, yeah. So they have had this maybe ready to go. With the Bensington, Lodestone, and Defiler, this is just heroes that they know how to play very well, and they have shown that they can execute flawlessly.
Well, so I want to kind of go off of what you're saying right there. They banned Adrenaline in a previous game. I think it was even the last game. So I mean, yeah, they're very aware, of course, that Adrenaline could have been a possibility here. But how they just so quickly snap it, the Defiler. Now I got to assume not the most analytical caught up, but I mean Defiler is going to be mid, right? So that's going to be your mid matchup most likely. So it's confident in the matchup, you would think, of the Defiler versus Adrenaline.
I would say so, or at least that's what Doghouse with the Defiler pick is telling me. And when you look at a hero like Defiler and even Bensington, so Adrenaline, he's the kind of hero that wants to trap you with him, similar to like a Pharaoh. But heroes like Defiler and Bensington, when you give them the opportunity to come into a fight, they're almost like, we want to be trapped with you, right? Like we're
in the cage with me.
Like Defiler with Ghosts up, that screams to me like, hey, I want to, get the heck out of here. I don't want to be fighting this guy with his Ghosts up. That's a lot of damage in my face. And then Bensington, the same thing. As soon as the Adrenaline Death's Halo comes down, he can just knife all in. So, and same with Lodestone, he can just jump in with the Shatterstorm. So I really like how Doghouse has already responded. And, I already talked about how these are heroes that they run very well. Now, again, they did show a lot of their core heroes already early on in their draft, so I'm expecting them to pick up 2 supports in the last 2 picks. And typically, we don't see teams draft like that. We tend to see the supports come out early and the core heroes be, safe for, counter picks and whatnot. But That just shows you the Doghouse. They're not afraid to do stuff differently, and they are feeling confident that this will work for them.
Interesting. Nymphora sneaks it through the second tier of bans even, and it would be fourth picked here by the side of Doghouse and a Kinesis final pick. All right, so this is some good variation here in game 3 that we have. Both teams really. I was also going to talk about the Andromeda on the side of Team Tim as their support option. Of course, much more of a saving support, a sacrificial support, but also provides that minus armor aura and just the aura presence too. But the final pick going to be coming out here. What's it to be? Now, the Wretched Hag, though, does that throw a little bit of a curveball? Is that okay, so maybe Adrenaline's going to be safe lane or what?
No, I think they'll run the Hag solo short or even solo long, depending on how they think the Doghouse side will lane set up. They want to get the Hag a 1v1 somewhere in the side lane. But just back to Doghouse's lineup, just from top to bottom, this is very cohesive. You mentioned the Nymphora pick. Another hero that just throws the heal pod down and the adrenaline ult or whatnot. Everything is just very, very well thought, I would say. And they have late game with double core. They have great supports for early game. They have Lodestone who scales throughout all stages with the Shatterstorm. It's just, to me, it's looking very, very good from top to bottom. So how does Team Tim respond? They go with Ravenor themselves. I have not seen that I can recall Team Tim running the Ravenor. So for me, this is a first. I don't know if it's actually their first, but I am interested to see how this works for them because they are gonna probably run this in a tri lane. We talked about Adrenaline and Hag being solo heroes, so almost kind of saying, "Hey, you guys ran this against us last game. It worked great for you. We're gonna try to run that ourselves and see how it works for us." So I'm looking forward to see how this does end up shaping out from both sides.
What's a bit standout to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, I suppose, but the cores of this Legion side a bit more greedy in the sense of not only maybe farm dependent, but also they're more about just dealing out some good damage. They're not necessarily bringing in some hard crowd control. I think the biggest is really like the Wretched Hag here, right? Where she's not bringing any crowd control. Really, it's more just
she's bringing damage,
pure damage. She's not your lodestone, whatever kind of offlaner. So, that could both be good and bad, certainly, but at least something worth pointing out. But actually, okay, yeah. So let's do this before we continue.
As always.
So sponsors, big sponsors here. A couple of sponsors, Community Gaming being one of them. Again, check out the site, guys, communitygaming.io. They run weekly tournaments for Valorant, Super Smash Bros., Hearthstone, really a lot of traditional games as well as even Web3 games if you're into that scene. Community Gaming, they're an all-in-one platform that helps supercharge events for all levels, from the grassroots to tier 1 professional events even. So definitely check it out. Sign up, communitygaming.io, one of the sponsors here. PL.eDoge, also another sponsor, helping to bring in that $10,000 prize pool that we're seeing on the line here. The PL.eDoge is a digital currency with one of the most vibrant communities on the powerful Polygon network. They offer a wide variety of fun interactions to its holders in the form of NFTs, apps, airdrops, and access to different DeFi platforms ready to use on the Polygon network. Experience it for yourself at PL.eDoge.com. Okay, but back to the game now. Let's get the pause anyways.
It's shaping up to be tri-lane versus tri-lane up in the top lane. So this is what I was expecting in game 1. And then we ultimately saw this in game 2, right? Both teams matching each other's tri-lanes.
Yep.
So one thing we didn't talk about is Kinesis being great against the Magnus. We've seen many times where the Kinesis is picked after the Magnus because he can get the Lava Surge. Alternatively, he could get Comet Stun or Ravenor Ball Lightning, which are also great abilities, but I think ideally he's going to be wanting the Lava Surge. So it will be 2 melee and 1 range from Legion. Almost 3 melees because Andrew's not really the biggest ranged hero. But they're actually... are they going to be swapping up lanes on me as I was just saying it was try versus try? Oh, they did it again. So anyway, Ravenor's headed to the mid lane. So they're going to want to try to shut down this Defiler. And you can almost tell that Doghouse is like, hey, are they swapping things up again? And look, they're sending Snooki to the bottom lane, maybe. Ozef might go to mid. Like, they're you could tell the teams are mind gaming each other at this point. Like, I don't think anyone's shown on any wards at all.
This is
So
just pure like
it's just
intuition.
pure speculation. They're like, if I could hear the comms right now, it's probably like, oh, but maybe they're gonna do what they did in game one, where they threw us off with the 2 dual lanes.
Oh, look at this,
It's crazy how, you know, getting these lane matchups that you want is so key, because it shapes out how the whole early game goes. Yeah, we have Magnus in a flank position, so I don't think that Doghouse is aware of this. This could very well be a Bloodlust on Defiler right from the get-go.
He's dead.
He's definitely going to get caught here. Ball Lightning comes out. Yeah. They stagger the stuns perfectly. He uses the Golden Apple. Magnus has boots, though, so he has to take the kill. They wanted to give it to Ravenor. You could tell that they were kind of backing off on the supports, but Bloodlust on the Magnus. I'm sure they will be happy with that, nonetheless. Top lane, Wretched Hag can't get the blink off, so she gets, I think, silence from Kinesis, double stun from Nymph and Benzington.
I love the lane swap. So yeah, Defiler TP's top lane after that death. They send Benzington middle with Nymphora. So now it's a duel versus dual lane mid.
Kinesis is going bottom to dual lane with Lodestone against Adrenaline. Interesting decision there.
All right, so this is a very fun, mind-gamey, early laning phase between both teams.
Sit middle where his aggressive heroes are placed, so he can just continue to set up kills.
So they know Magnus is missing, but they don't know exactly where. The Andromeda stun perfect. Oh, we did Lava Surge in time, but the ball lightning was connected, so it didn't matter.
Yep.
And he's dead. So only so much Nymphora could do there at level 1, especially, only just with the Zeal stun, which he hit, but obviously didn't matter. So well played.
A Defiler against Hag in top lane. This, I believe, should favor Defiler a little bit. And she's already off to a good start, at least on creep score. She's 10-1 against 4-0 Hag. Bottom lane, the Lodestone is doing 8-2 against a 5-0, and they have rotated Magnus down here, maybe to just kind of protect him a bit, but it is 2 melees against a melee in a range, so that should favor the Hellborn side. And I think we're still seeing the 2v2 mid. Nymphora gets the DD rune spawn from top river. Maybe they can get a kill on the Andromeda if they're feeling confident, but right now they have the creeps and towers, so they're going to want to farm up on Benzi.
Kinesis, though, bottom lane, in trouble. Actually, goes in
He might just die here. There's just too much damage.
Adrenaline Magnus. This Magnus already with the early Striders and the Wind Whistle on top of that. So this is a fast, he's a Zoomer. Zoomer Magnus coming out.
Yeah, Volca is just... I keep talking about it, but he's so good on heroes like Magnus and Rally. He always knows where to be and when to be there. As mid lane, we have Initiation, I think, on the Ravenor. Kinesis poured it in, and they brought him down. If they have the spells up soon, they might just dive this Andromeda. They're not even going to need to actually really commit to the towers. The damage from Kinesis with the creep throws was enough, so 2 kills all in the way of Doghouse.
So I'm not going to lie, I'm sitting here like wondering, wait, what is Kinesis doing? I totally forgot they did the rework to him. So he now steals abilities.
Yeah.
As you saw right there with the comment.
It's only the first ability of the hero. So he wants to pick heroes that have good first abilities. Heal pod comes out, but Magnus is here. This is going to be a dead Benzington. Unless the Seal stun from Dude was huge. He stunned 2. And that
all 3.
Was was it all? Okay, maybe it was all 3. I'm blind apparently. But anyway, great stun from Dude regardless. And that saved Fa 100%.
All right, so yeah, very good save right there, keeping it alive. But, you know, back to the big picture, Impa Boy here on Ravenor, who, maybe not lately, but I will say I do recall Impa Boy playing a lot of Ravenor back in his day. You know, way back when, so it's at least comfortable in that sense. And
oh yeah, no doubt. I have seen him play this hero many times. Just I haven't seen him play it recently, so I was actually thrown off when I saw them pick it.
It is funny, though, that we've had the solo matchup happens to be at the top lane of a Wretched Hag versus a Defiler. It's like, it's a matchup you definitely see middle lane quite a bit.
Oh, Magnus is here, Defiler. Not too much HP or mana. He's gonna go for the TP. He uses the Siphon Soul! Oh, that was so close, actually, to him living. There was, like, maybe a few milliseconds left on his port.
Yep.
As Magnus swung his hammer there in the face of Defiler.
I thought he actually was going to get away right there for sure, but no. Like you said, milliseconds being the difference right there. So Defiler does fall, even with the Siphon Soul up. It doesn't matter. How has the top lane been going, though? 17-5 Hag, 25-4 Defiler. So Defiler is certainly winning that top lane matchup, at least in the creep score aspect. So
they want to go mid lane. They have invisibility on the Kinesis. And even though the Rev Ward is there, it's not going to matter. They kill the Andro. Magma Sports in, but I don't think they can re-engage because no spells up on the Ravenor, so.
Yeah, talk about a great counterpart to the Kinesis, to that point you were making on the stealing the Comet Stone. I mean, that's just
they're going into the Ravenor here.
And there we go again. The Comet Stone comes out from Kinesis on top of the Seal and the heal. That's an easy kill. Magnus can only do so much. So a double tap is credit to Dude right there on the Nymphora. Once it's all said and done.
Maybe he's gonna get some boots for himself. Did he just buy power supply? Maybe he has enough gold. I think he had 800, so maybe enough for power supply and boots, actually.
Man, that was
bottom lane. Lodestone's gonna get spotted here by Magnus.
Oh yeah, he's
I think he might be okay.
He's got a drill. Over the edge, he's good.
Oh, and he's gonna get a regen. That's a nice little gift given to him. Get him back into laning.
Yeah, especially with the bottle. How about Adrenaline? We really haven't talked about Adrenaline much. 32-2, 330 gold per minute.
Top farmer in the game. Well, he's pretty much tied with Lodestone.
So they're both doing pretty good. Right? Yeah, it's essentially turned into a try versus try lane bid, by the way.
Yeah, it's not your everyday lane setup. Magnus even dive at the tower. It takes 2 tower hits, but they decide not to commit.
Oh, top lane.
What's going on top lane? Hag blinks into the trees. Okay.
Defiler doesn't have silence yet. I mean, that's understandable. Usually not an ability you level up this early, but...
Yeah, this Siphon Soul ability is just so good that you always want to put at least... I don't want to say he's going to go full, like, 4-4 into Wave and Siphon Soul. He probably will get silence at either somewhere between level 8 and 10, but you definitely want the Siphon Soul early game. A couple levels. Just the heal and the slow is so nice for chasing people down. Middle lane, Bensington's getting surrounded by heroes as the supports are off in the side lanes. He does do a lot of damage here to both Ravenor and Magnus, but being alone, he cannot get any kills himself.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this Adrenaline, though, what he has potential to do. Again, farming pretty well, 225 gold per minute, but Lodestone farming a little bit better. Shadowstorm activated, they're going for this kill. There's the jump in, the timing with the Shadowstorm explosion and Adrenaline. Okay, well, it still exists. The Caster's Curse. My apologies. As Adrenaline goes down there.
Kinesis currently has Comet Stun, so that's a great ganking ability for him to set up kills.
Okay, he's evaporated with that Shadowstorm exploding. He's there 1 second and gone the next.
Doghouse camping both runes. They get invisibility on Nymph, and they refill the bottle with the Merrick's bounty rune on Lodestone. They're going to bring a lot of heroes to mid lane here. Avatar's getting initiated on. That's connect onto multiple heroes.
Yeah, that was a great bat blast, but it wasn't enough apparently. Even Sir Bensington lives, who got so low right there, and then that Nymphora heal continues to be so clutch. We saw it big time in the previous game, and this is why I mean, obviously, it's a pick your poison, but man, they let it get through the second tier of bans. And
Hag is actually getting bursted down here.
Oh, he was TP.
He did not expect the burst damage coming out.
Nymphora, what a call to actually cancel that and help to get that kill. And I mean, just the crazy action continues here in the mid lane. But yeah, no doubt a huge kill.
Defiler took top tower. I don't think we even mentioned that. No. So while Hag ported into mid lane to try to get return kills, Tiki was like, hey, I'm just going to take your tower. And that's always what happens when you give Defiler just like a little bit of room where you kind of ignore her for a little bit. She just somehow takes your tower really quickly.
Well, yeah, top tower down. Lodestone is now pushing it out himself. He is the top farmer in the game, 420 gold per minute, has a full power supply. He's just going to build a beefy style, as you'd expect, maybe in the PK, of course, to come out eventually, but not just yet. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to Adrenaline. What's the build we're looking at on Adrenaline, you think, in terms of items?
He should be going sorcery boots, or whatever they're called. Sorcery boots. He's even got the amulet, so I think he probably has the pickle brain component coming out to complete that. So that'll allow him to just continuously spam his Shard Blast, and he has mana for Rush and whatnot. He has a lot of spells that cost mana, and then he will most likely either bulk up defensively with actually middle lane or bot river. Sorry, Ravenor gets taken out. That was with Stasis Smash, and they're falling back. It looks like they don't want to commit to give up any kills over to Team Tim's side.
Oh,
Defiler might get caught bottom lane. Speaking of that, as Nightfall comes in from Fa. Oh, he misses the Magnus, actually. That was a great dodge from Volca.
Yeah, they do lose the Defiler.
They missed the Rocket Drill stun as well. Magnus is just avoiding everything perfectly. Two-man line stun comes out.
Not going to matter there.
Kill the Andromeda.
Ball lightning, is he going back in? Oh, of course he is. Boy wants this, but maybe biting off a little too much right there. And now Ravenor's in trouble as well. The Shadow Storm explosion. Heal from Newerth and not giving up for the kill, though.
Head smash the Ravenor.
Yeah,
but the bats, they get two people low. Deny comes in on the Nymphora. Bensington can joust away if he wants to. Is holding it to maybe go back in. But good stun from Magnus, and then good deny from Lowstone. The fight is not done, by the way.
Apparently not. Kinesis running back in. Rocket Drill. Down goes Kinesis. He got the combo set off, though. Wave of Death also connects for another kill. Nymphora falls, but so does Adrenaline. Just explosions all over the place. But Defiler, he ain't scared. He's got Ghost. Oh, but no, the common stun. He got the kill, but at one cost. Ravenor turns on him with the tower assistance. Hat trick for Boy after it's all said and done. I mean, that was like 10 kills in like a 30-second fight. It just kept on happening.
So both sides, I think, actually got a hat trick, right? Or no, Ravenor didn't get a hat trick. It was just a Defiler. Or do I have that wrong?
Wait, Ravenor got it, I thought.
Yeah, no, it's the Defiler who got the hat trick.
Oh, Snooki. Oh, yeah, no. It's the way it read was like broken up.
Sorry,
okay.
I got a little confused myself there.
Snooki got
so Bensington is actually getting gone on mid lane, but they're not going to dive. They're going to try to get this tower deny, I think, in mid lane.
Oh, they could, but they don't want the Legion team to be nearby while they do so. I'm going to keep it up for now.
This game has really shifted into Doghouse's favor. I felt like the Legion was like the game was very even, and now all of a sudden the top 3 farmers all belong to Hellborn.
Yeah.
And they're diving the Adrenaline here. They just bring the numbers advantage to the mid
lane.
Defiler,
top lane, meanwhile, is in trouble too, but maybe not. And this kind of goes back, you talked about it near the beginning, really in the draft, how like Defy is one of those heroes. It's like, yeah, you caught me, but you're in the cage with me, actually, it turns out. And that was an example of it right there. They jumped on Defiler 2 versus 1.
Supporting bottom now, they're going to keep this going.
Dies.
Kinesis gets caught out, but any return kills coming in? I don't think Defiler wants to face the Ravenor with this much HP, and Ravenor being charged up on 80 charges, so...
Huh. Is he really going back in? Jeez.
I feel like they should have saw that Veiled Rod, actually, because it is daytime.
Whoa.
He is playing with fire. I mean, he's going to heal up from the ghost, and maybe he was trying to bait some stuff out.
That was the play, yeah.
You know, if anything, I think that was more of a scare tactic than anything, because they went on mid lane while that was happening. And I'm just sitting here staring at Defiler like, what's he doing? What's he doing? But I think it was more of a distraction than anything.
Well, it worked out beautifully. They got the kill on a Wretched Hag. Now bottom lane, Nymphora in trouble, but maybe not. The heal comes out. Nice heal stun as well. The heal heals them up. They get a turn kill. Nymphora's still alive. They take out the Ravenor as well. They finally killed Nymphora. But the big picture is certainly going the way of the Dire team once again. Hellborn, excuse me. Adrenaline trying to run. Gets tethered in. There's the arena. Adrenaline going to kite around, and Lodestone is dead.
Tower.
All right, so Adrenaline making a good play right there. Good job kiting with that Death's Halo active, and they also get the kill on Kinesis. So another just back and forth brutal fight down here at the bottom.
Up, though. So if Magma stuns in, I think they're going to counter here. Yep. There it is.
Caught Hag. Going too far. Siphon, the swap, trying to keep his teammate alive, and does help him do so. And now Defiler gets slow. Hag goes back in and gets the kill, but another joust stun in 2 seconds. The Zeal stun out of range.
Hag is actually alive. Wow.
Magnus saves his teammate. He stuns just in time. Hag jumps back in for another kill. Takes an auto attack. He'll still survive, and now dude is in trouble. No heal. He does have a power supply. Oh, he's not going to make a play with it, though. Okay, I mean, the
Talk
end
about
result...
back and forth. I mean, Doghouse was once looking really good, and now Team Tim's cleaning up.
Well, it's really... Yeah, I mean, Team Tim is actually... They're nearly even as far as goal goes, but apparently we're not done yet. That's why I would be with the
right
series.
now, so if they have the damage to bring down Ravenor,
wow.
but they don't actually have the damage.
And they're turning. They're turning. Look at Hag. Hag is so low again. But he still survives it. There's the actual hat trick for Ravenor, but here comes Defiler now.
The wave is just out of range, so Magnus doesn't have mana for a Lava Surge stun right now, but they're not getting any kills, and, well, they're gonna probably get this Andro kill.
Yeah, he's just baiting now. Making them take forever. Okay, finally. It's like, let's call it like a 2-minute fight.
Look at all the Team Tim players just running back to base on low life.
Yeah.
That just shows you how close that these engagements really are. I mean, one spell landing kind of changes kills in your favor. It's very unfortunate, but Team Tim really did a nice job there. They evened out the gold and XP almost to a T.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm all for just it's action-packed games, and I'm loving this being this final series and everything, but this is insanity. I mean, 21-17. We're at 16 minutes into this game. Absolute crazy bonkers. Top lane, Wretched Hag, Blink, and unless they have some kind of joust, just misses.
So close from far. Obviously, he guessed, but
it's been 5 seconds. There's more action. Bottom lane. Defiler's dead. All right.
Yeah, he's gonna cancel that TP. And then mid lane, I can't even keep up with all the kills happening. Every
hopefully
lane has
the observer's
something
keeping up at least. Probably not. There's so much going. All right, so okay.
The guy with the most creeps is 96, as we have Death's Halo mid lane into Bat Blast. Oh, he cannot. He can TP now.
Yeah.
Okay, he timed it very well there on Newerth to TP out, because if the port left, he would have got pulled back into the Death's Halo ultimate.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you cannot leave that arena when it's activated, but his TP ordered him out as it expired, so it was very, very good timing from dude. So at least he didn't give up another kill to Team Tim.
Very interesting, though. But, I mean, again, look at the individual goal per minute now. It's Ravenor has accelerated to the top of the charts. He picked up the Elder Parasite. Hey, talk about an item that's going to help him scale really well, especially with farming potential. I'm guessing we're going to see that BKB coming out next. So that's well on its way.
Pretty much the same item build that we saw from Zwicky on Ravenor Line Game 2.
Ice Brand finished on Adrenaline, by the way.
He's going to go into Dawnbringer, so he buys the piece that gives him the attribute that he is, which is Strength, and just bulks him up to help him survive as long as possible in his own arena. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we have Initiation.
Nightfall. Jumping in for a response. The Magnus avoids a joust, but cannot avoid everything else. So Volko's dead, and the rest able to get away. Andromeda, yes, he's out. So that'll be the end of that.
Doghouse brought all 5 players down here. They definitely want to get the tower if they're going to commit everyone down here like this. And they have a ward spotting Ravenor and Adrenaline. They're going to use the Stasis Smash here, but there's no follow-up, so unfortunately not going to get any kills there. Top lane tower gets split up, but it will fall to the Team Tim.
Wretched Hag is kind of trying to bait out loads on the seam, so I don't think we're going to see a kill here. Yeah, just blinks away now, and he's fine, but bottom lane. Andromeda's dead. TP in. Does he commit? He does. Magnus being the one to TP, but quickly stuns out, realizing this is a lost cause. I mean, Ravenor's nearby, though. Do they dare take this fight? Wretched Hag is also walking in the background, but with the Unholy Expulsion up.
Defiler's Ghost. It's incredible how much damage that ultimate deals so quickly. So yeah, I don't know if we've really had time to talk about items this game. There's just so much fighting going on that there's really no room, other than we've talked about maybe Adrenaline and Ravenor. So
it's one of those, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, it's one of those games when there's so much action going on, sometimes we could just let it happen, you know? We don't need to.
Yeah. So both sides have a Gnome's Wisdom, one on Hag and one on Defiler, respectively. Bensington has his farming tool with the Thunderclaw already picked up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Fao go straight into a Shunken just with how much fighting both teams are doing. But What's going on top?
Oh, bottom. Adrenaline and catch just a couple. Kinesis gets pulled in, so they get the support. Sir Bennington was also there, but you mentioned the top lane while that was happening.
Still hasted, and Nightfall actually gets canceled, so the bats hit nothing. And Lodestone was able to pick off the Andromedas. I don't know if he got his Nightfall canceled or if he just decided that was not a good Nightfall.
Ravener was there, so I don't know though actually, because yeah, Ravener has his Violent Rot up though, so I don't know if he actually hit a any stuff. But either way,
smoked up Defiler mid lane. They're gonna pop Ghost here. He misses the Rocket Drill stun.
You can tell he's kind of second guessing because he saw Magnus at the last second in the tree, so kind of went for it. But yeah, as you mentioned, whiffed, so no stun hits, and the Unholy Expulsion is going to go down in about 10 more seconds.
On the cliff here, I think he wants to place a ward, or maybe they are the ward with their bodies being up there. Wow. This is very deep though, next to the base of Team Tim. Will we see the mass ports come in? As they're going to burn down the Magnus right away. Adrenaline could get a big halo here if he wants to use it.
No, not necessary. Get up 2.
That was
the others
2
run.
for 1. They baited out mass TP. I mean, obviously that's not really worth it if they're not getting like the other lane split pushed or farm while that's going on, because both Defiler and Bensington were thinking about going to that fight, but they just fall back. So they're not really getting anything else on the other parts of the map while losing a 2 for 1 trade. So Team Tim will happily take that aggressive play, resulting in 2 kills for them.
All right, things are finally slowing down a little bit, it feels like. Kind of entering that mid-game stage now, about 22 minutes in, so
look at the GPM chart. It's like, it looks almost identical.
Yeah, it is even, yeah.
3 people, relatively same farm, and then the support
Adrenaline.
Slightly
top lane is caught. Joust in, lead it off, the Zeal stun. Now, Adrenaline is pretty tanky. Talk about the Ice Brand pickup. Helping him beef up somewhat. That with the sacrificial
stone. He's all alone.
Stone.
I mean, if they want to commit to this, I mean, maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
They see Magnus mid, but other than that, they don't really know where the remaining players from Team Tim is. So yeah, he's just tanky enough to live.
Wretched Hag is hunting.
Hag smoked up here with the DD and Bats, so I don't know. Maybe she could burst down the Bensington by herself if she goes for it.
Double damage rune as well. Definitely going for
it. On the Bensington. That's a huge solo pickoff. The Nimpart's coming in, but I don't know if these 2 guys can take out Hag. She's relatively tanky.
Yeah, she's not showing herself right now either, so it's the mind game of like who's gonna show first. Hag is playing this very safe. TP doesn't have Bat Blast, so
they even put a lane ward down to see if she maybe fell back and she's hiding, but now she blinks into the creep wave.
Support nearby.
Cat and mouse.
No. It really is. He hit into this. He does. A little dangerous now for the wretched Hag. Oh no, the silence.
That could be the difference maker.
That's it. A little too greedy. Very greedy. Trying to poke into that Nymphora mid lane. Meanwhile, Night falls in. The stun, Adrenaline. No, he's going to be fine because Joust is canceled. But hey, they got the big kill onto the wretched Hag at the top lane. Now, what do they do off of this? She's dead for another 30 seconds. They're going to try to swing around the mid lane, it looks like. Lodestone. Can't really find an angle yet. Checking out Kongor.
So Imboboy's got his Shrunken Head on Ravener now. He's got the damage assistant tool with the Elder and the sustain tool with the Shrunken. So he's feeling pretty confident right now.
Nymphora takes a stun. Got Magnus.
She's in very deep lines here, but maybe baiting because they have the whole team kind of nearby.
Oh yeah, definitely baiting.
Ghosts are up and they're forcing out the glyph here, but the tower is gonna fall before anything happens. But they're looking to maybe go in here. Swap on the Defiler.
Initiation. There we go. The jump up at the Storm Spirit though from the Defiler, but still melts as it comes down. Shadowstorm active, however. And now it's the Hellborn's turn. There is the Halo though from Adrenaline, keeping them in place, and the cleanup crew is here
Ravenor
for Team Tim.
Huge with the power overwhelming, fully charged, picks up a hat trick, and was that a 5 for nothing breaky? It looks like it was, right?
5 for 1, I thought. Oh, maybe it was 5 for nothing. Actually,
no buybacks.
No, you're right.
From Legion, so they got the tower, but as you would say, at what cost? A 5-for-0 swing. They will take the tower trade.
Wow, I mean, Team Doghouse, they are behind now quite a bit. 5,700 gold deficit at their end. It's just going to get worse as Wretched Hag may take out this middle tower now on top of that. And she is well on the way to a Dawnbringer as a result of that fight as well. But yeah, you talk about Ravener, what he was able to do in that last fight with just the items he has another 3,300 gold saved up. So we're going to see another big damage item, the full Dawnbringer to come for Adrenaline. They're going to be reaching these later tier items, certainly. Wretched Hag is jumped over here. Nightfall coming out, and Hag falls. So at least a somewhat of a response from Team Doghouse to kill the Hag and delay that Dawnbringer, or excuse me, the Grimoire a bit more. But still.
Bensington, he's, I think, desperately wanting his Shrunken Head at this point. So he's got 2,500 gold saved up. They're going to turn their attention to Kongor, which I do think they should be able to bring down without any... without Team Tim contesting it. So, right now, Team Tim with... Oh, and the tower actually falls to creeps. I think they probably would have wanted to deny that, but they did not rotate over to do so. Right now, it's a 7k gold lead and 6k experience lead. It's going to shift by about 1k gold with the Kongor falling. So yeah. Team Tim still has the advantage right now in terms of resources. But the Bensington Shrunken is going to be very key for Doghouse moving forward. They want to get that pickup. He is 1,000 and change away. So if they can give him a little bit of time for that, maybe he'll even sell maybe the Iron Shield or the bottle, get him a little bit closer as well.
Yeah, Kongor kill's pretty big though. Obviously that's a nice little buff that the whole team will get there on the Hellborn side. That doesn't necessarily show in the stats up there. But yeah, still, it is a lead.
Alternatively though, they lose tier 2 top and tier 2 bottom, so there's only one outer tower protecting their base remaining now from Doghouse in the mid lane, which is also very, very low. It's almost even in deny range, so a lot of map space to work with. I mean, it's the same though for Doghouse. There's only this one middle tower on the Legion side as well, so tower for tower is even.
The Legion team, Team Tim is... They want to do something. I mean, the Grimoire's not finished yet on Wretched Hag. I feel like that's kind of an item that they maybe want to wait for before they really go, but they're all 5 here at the tier 2 tower. We are definitely going to be seeing a fight break out.
Almost got a little too curious.
Yeah, but look at the flank,
though. Flank coming in, yeah, exactly. The Veiled Rods. So it's going to be who can get the initiation on the right targets here. Andrew's kind of grouped with her team, so if she gets caught like in a bad spot, she might not be able to get a good swap here.
Filer. Oh, what's going on? Magmus stuns it. It's a little bit awkward here. Adrenaline actually now trying to run, and we are going. Unholy Expulsion is out. There's a big lava surge from Magmus with the eruption, but it's not enough damage to get any kills, losing his teammate. And then Shravan off the side.
Adrenaline's back in. She does get the blink off to safety.
Still has the halo, by the way.
Ravenor's here now with the Shrunken, fighting into Ghost, though, and he's going to have to run away. Bensington holding his ground. Wow, that was so close to Bensington falling. I think the Storm Spirit saved him, right? Did they use the Storm Spirit there on the Bensington?
Maybe. I can't 100%.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that they did, because I think Ravenor would have killed him otherwise. And that was so close for a bunch of heroes, actually. As Ravenor and Hag were both very low on life. They got out almost falling, and then Bensington we saw right there, saved by the Storm Spirit from Snooki and the Defiler. So,
man, that Magmus though,
good fight.
That stun, like it looked like that was gonna be the time to just go and make something happen, but he landed a beautiful, I think it's a 3-man stun, the eruption on top. But they really didn't have a follow-up. The Halo never came out. Ravener was a bit later, as you were talking about. So the timing was just a little bit off for this Legion side. And now they're going to have to try to make up for what happened in the previous fight. And they're ready to go back in. Magmus is hunting, has the eye in hand, gets a stun into Defiler. But for us there to back up, and it's like they want to get out of here. Actually, somebody TP's away, so... the rest are going to keep on running. I mean, Defiler needs to keep running because they are still chasing. As we see, in fact, Magmus, oh, the Shrunken Head, beautiful timing coming out from Snooki. And they say, all right, let's fight. The arena's there from Volca goes down. We're jumping into the wrong arena.
Leading the front lines, trying to catch the Andro. He did miss the stun, but Nymph support, I believe, is porting him and Kinesis behind them.
There's the Halo. Nightfall activated, though. You got Ravener. He is beating them down with the Shrunken Head up. That's what you want to see for this Legion side. He goes for the chase. He gets another Lodestone. Another double tap for Rainbow Boy. And there's somebody in the trees over here. That would be the Kinesis. There's also a double tap going the way of Dapey. And he gets the hat trick as he finds the final kill down there. So that's more like it for Team Tim.
So that import actually, it was looking like it was going to be good for them to go from behind with the two supports and just catch them. But man, Team Tim, they just, I don't know if they knew what was going on or if they just like, they were like, go, 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 like turn. They turned at like the perfect moment because Defiler and Bensington were caught out fighting the whole side of Team Tim. And it was just a huge, huge fight from Team Tim. They got everyone down as well.
That's going to be a full Dawnbringer now. Going to be coming out for Ravener. I think the Shrunken Head's going to be farmed up soon from Adrenaline. So yeah, now they're in these later tier items that are certainly standing out. Meanwhile, on the other side, I mean, sure, Defiler is very farmed as well, 478 gold per minute. So on Shrunken Head, etc. But do they have enough supporting damage? And I guess that really starts with the Sir Bensington, right? Who's about 400 gold per minute, so he's certainly farming very well himself.
He went for Hyper Crown. Huh.
Yeah.
That actually surprises me. So what that means to me is that they feel they lack damage. Or he like they lack a way to clear waves and just continuously get him his farm, or he's fallen behind too much of the Ravenor. Because to me he definitely needs to Shrunken. I mean, he cannot really team fight into Ravenor and Magnus and Hag and all that without this item. So he's feeling that he needs this greedier item pickup. Otherwise, he would not have done this.
Well, we'll see if it's the right call or not. I mean, this is the biggest lead we've seen so far in this game in terms of gold. I go back to it again. The Conqueror was killed by the Hellborn side, so they are benefiting from that slight buff there in comparison to the Legion. We got some ancient stacks being taken out. You see Sir Benton, that Arclight, or the Hyper Crown more so, is doing a lot of work to help clear this out. So he'll enhance his farm even that much more. No buybacks have been used this game. That honestly is a little surprising for how much action we've had.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Well, that's all still there, so. Still,
Did we talk about the portal key on Ravenor? He has the full Dawnbringer as well?
Yeah, he said that for a while,
his items? Yeah. Okay.
Dawnbringer, he just finished, I think, on that aspect. Yep, that's pretty good. Yeah, Adrenaline BKB's coming soon, too.
Ravenor's got a lot of tools to work with now. He's got sustain, positioning, and ways to deal his damage very quickly, so everybody's in a really good spot here. And again, the GPM chart reflects that he's 580 GPM, top in the game. But there is always the potential for him to go down to Shadowstorm and Ghost, so he still has to play the team fights very well by all means.
It is funny how you see the momentum, the pace of the game change so much from just, and this whole series, right? It's just been just go, 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 go. But it really feels like we're now kind of in this, our biggest stall we've had this whole series, where both teams, they feel pretty, okay about their position. Obviously, the Legion team maybe a bit more. But now, this is game 3. It's a 1-1 series. We're getting deep into this best out of 5, $10,000 prize on the line. It's almost like something may have clicked. Like, all right, we got to really kind of slow things down a little bit and make sure we're making the right decisions here as far as when we want to initiate and et cetera. But it's been quite the lull in terms of how just fast paced we've had this whole series.
I do think that the lead has slightly decreased since the Hyper Crown pickup of Bensington. So I think the fact that the two teams are avoiding each other is actually good for Doghouse's side to try to close this deficit down a little bit. He even goes the Firebrand, so he's feeling like he can continue to go for more of these like greedier damage item farming item routes. And I'm gonna be interested to see now if he even continues and maybe puts that into a Geometer's Bane instead of Shrunken, like continues to just go for more damage assistant tools. Because that's kind of what he's at least what I'm thinking he's doing now. Well, on him, and he just melts. The two heroes of Andro and Ravenor can kill him in about 2 seconds.
That was like 1.2 seconds. I mean, that was
Yeah,
fast.
maybe I was being generous when I said 2 seconds.
All right, he has buyback, and there we go. There's our first buyback, so initiation going to commence now, but look at Kinesis just drop Nightfall in, but Ravenor is just an absolute beast. Typee gets both the kills, but you know, Boy is doing plenty of that damage. However, now they're starting to fall back on the Legion side, realizing with that Unholy Expulsion up, it's not worth continuing to commit. They lost Andromeda, and they'll let things reset. So about 7 more seconds. When those ghosts are down, do they re-engage? Here's the question. Not yet.
Yeah, and obviously the Bensington doing 2 deaths in a span of like 30 seconds with committing a buyback on top, that's going to hurt him so much. So we'll see if Tim just decides to press the issue and try to get themselves either a base tower or even a full Rex here. With Benson respawning in 20 seconds, might not be enough time for them to do that. And there is still 2 Kongors up, so if they want to turn their attention to an objective other than the Hellborn space, they could look to do that.
Yeah, you mentioned the Hellborn Kongor coming back up after it was killed earlier. Certainly the next objective on both sides, you can see them going for. Calls for it, but yeah, Sir Bensington, that does gotta feel rough, the buyback into another death, and suddenly what was just some hyper farm going on. He's dropped under 400 gold per minute.
Only Kinesis? No, sorry, Lodestone into the Legion jungle.
Yeah, Snooki's on point with these Shrunken Head. Is this... Okay. I was a little afraid for a second it's going to wear off and he's going to get stunned, but no, he knew his timing. Gets out. 4,000 gold on Snooki, by the way, playing Defiler. So something big is coming. Is it going to be hard here, we think, or what?
I was actually going to say... Yeah, he has the Beast Heart, so I think he's going to just go for the full, like, ball of HP. Now, obviously, he could go for... I think it's too late to go for magic armor, but most of Ravenor's damage is magic, so... I guess bulking up on just raw HP is fine if he wants to do that. He does have a very defensive item build, for good reasons. I am going to be interested to see if he at any point tries to go for an offensive item like a Sheepstick or something, because... if they can catch Ravenor and just kind of hold him down for a little bit, that might be... good way for them to be able to bring him down. Obviously, they have to go against the swap, but it would not be bad by all means to still pick up something like a Sheepstick.
Hag, Kinesis is there to defend. So Hag just gonna back up with the creep wave though. Let the team also join to continue to push it out. So this tier 3 tower, it's already below half-life. Defiler is here with Unholy Expulsion. Again, 4,300 gold now saved up on him. Ravenor has 4,000 gold saved up, so both sides have plenty full.
I think that Doghouse is going to give the Strax up. They're not... I mean, they have Bensington who can Nightfall in. Everyone else is at the base now. I guess it looks like they are going to fight. Here's the Shadow Storm coming.
Oh, well, Wretched got stunned though as he jumped in, but out comes the Halo, and Ravenor again, it just melts them. That blast doing plenty on top of that. Defiler, Unholy Expulsion is up. The Shrunken Head, he's trying to run and survive, but it's not gonna matter. A Genocide coming out, and GG, well played. It is 2-1 series lead now for Team Tim. So the underdogs have the series lead, 1 game away from claiming the championship. We're gonna be heading to game 4.